Hello, good morning and welcome to Rosslyn Hill Chapel, a spiritual home for open minds. I'm Katie Gosling, Ministry Assistant for this beautiful and sacred space. As you might have noticed coming in, we have activity tables, so this is an all ages service where the children stay with us in chapel, and during the second half of the service, we will go to the back, be playful, be creative, have discussion, reflection, and time to think. After the service, we will have refreshments in the side aisle, and for those of you at home, a big warm hello. There's a virtual side aisle. The link is in the YouTube description. This afternoon, we have a community lunch club at 12:30. And in the afternoon at 2 p.m., we have a poetic empowerment workshop. At 6 p.m., we have mindfulness, and at 7 p.m., there is a labyrinth walking meditation. Our collection will take place during the closing music. You will have an opportunity to make a donation in cash or by card. And this month, the offering will be shared between the work of this beautiful chapel and our good cause for the month, Dementia UK. So you might have noticed the title of today's service, which is Verses Which Help Us Grow. What do I mean by that? What do we mean by that? If I read a poem to you all now, will we all suddenly grow taller or wider? Well, I hope not, because we might not fit in our seats. But what I mean by this is that poetry is always there as a companion. It nudges us, it opens us up, and it surprises us. Sometimes a poem helps us see something that we hadn't noticed before. Sometimes it softens us, or steadies us, or reminds us to be a little more open-minded or a little more loving-hearted. And sometimes, when life is difficult and we can't find the words for what we're feeling, someone else has already walked that path. And their words become a kind of medicine, a way of saying, "You're not alone, I've been there too." Well, one of the reasons I feel a chapel exists is to help people grow. It is a consistent place, a place that we can return to again and again as we move through our lives. A place where we are held in community, in love, in compassion, whether we arrive in joy or in sorrow. In that way, perhaps chapel is like a building made of poetry, an ever-present verse that we step into, a place where we grow through encounters with the unknown, through silence, and through connection with one another. A place where the immeasurable becomes something said, whether spoken or unspoken. Poetry works in the same way. A poem gives shape to our feelings, joy, grief, wonder, confusion, and lets us speak them or simply recognize them in a new way. And so today my question in all ages is, do we only grow through suffering, or can we grow through joy as well, through play, imagination, and delight? I'd like now to light our chalice flame. We light this flame as a symbol of our faith, where we celebrate as which we celebrate as the freedom to explore our shared values and individual spiritual beliefs. And as we like to do in all ages, we usually say the bright lights opening, which is in your service sheet. So you'll find it at the front of your service sheet, and I'd love you to say it with me. We are the chapel of the open minds, the loving hearts, and the helping hands. I will now light our peace candle. We light this peace candle for the people in conflicts that are currently taking place around the world. We pray that the decision makers act with humanity and compassion. May we walk the path of peace through our thoughts and our actions. We come together each Sunday and we like to get to know each other. So I'd like to give you time to turn to someone next to you and say hello and good morning, greet them, especially if they're new to chapel, we haven't met them before. And then John will play some music, which is our cue to end that conversation. Thank you. Lovely to hear all those conversations and beautiful greetings and new faces, meeting people. So that's lovely. We're now going to start by singing our first song, our first hymn, which is in the service sheet overleaf. And as is custom, John will kindly play through the first verse and then rise as you are able. Beautifully sung. Please be seated. Now, we come to our time of Story for All Ages, and I'd like to invite families to come to the front. And I will really need your help this morning with the story, but it's going to be really fun. And the parents are going to have to help their little ones deliver some things. So please be comfy. And Hannah, I'd need your help to come and sit on the seat next to your bell. I know you might take a few moments to get there, so don't worry. Okay. So in the story, families, you're going to have to listen really carefully, because at a special moment, Hannah will ring her triangle bell, just like we do at Children's Chapel. And when you hear that little ding, I will say your name, and that's your signal to stand up with your parent, and the parent can take one of the lanterns for you to share, and then you can walk through the congregation, and the parent can choose who we deliver the lantern to, okay? And then once you've done that, if you come back and sit back down, and I had envisaged that we might have the same number of children as last week, but because there's only 2 of you, and I've got 6 lanterns, how many times are you going to have to do it each? 3 times each, so I hope you don't mind doing a few extra steps this morning. Are you on? Feeling good? Okay, so this story is called A Lamp in Every Corner, and it's by Janeen K. Grohsmeyer. Many years ago, in the land of Transylvania, in a mountain valley watered by quick rushing streams and shadowed by great forests of beech trees, there was a village of small wooden houses with dark shingled roofs. The people in the village were of Unitarian religion, and they wanted a chapel of their own. A chapel set on the hillside, they decided, looking down upon the village as a mother looks down upon her sleeping child. So all the people of the village labored long and hard to build themselves a chapel. The stonemasons hammered sharp chisels to cut great blocks of grey stone and then set the stones into stout and sturdy walls. The glazers made tiny glass panes and fitted them neatly into the windows with leaded lines. The foresters sawed the tall beech trees into enormous beams and laid the trusses for the ceiling, then covered the roof with close-fitting wooden shingles that wouldn't leak a single drop of rain. The carpenters carved wood for the pair of wide-opening doors, setting them on strong pegs so that the doors hung straight and square. A bell was brought from a faraway city and then hoisted by ropes with a heave and a hoe to the top of the tower. The weavers wove fine cloths for the altar table, cloths embroidered with flowers and edged with lace. The smiths hammered black iron into tall lampstands and hammered thin bronze into shining oil lamps. Remember to just one. I'll keep reading as you go. Finally, when the building of the church was done, the painting of the church could begin. The painters mixed bright colors, royal red and shimmering gold and brilliant blue, and everyone in the village, old and young, women and men, boys and girls, came to decorate their church. They painted flowers, they painted trees, they painted designs around the windows with different designs around the doors. And at the end of the day, when it was finished, when their chapel was finally done, all the people of the village stood back to admire it, and then to sing a song of happiness and praise. Their village had a chapel now, a chapel set on a hillside, looking down upon the village as a mother looks upon her sleeping child. "We will eat now," announced an elder of the village, because everyone was hungry after their long day's work, and later tonight we will come back to pray. So the people of the village went down the hillside to their homes and their suppers, all except one little girl named Zora and her father, who stayed behind. They had bought their own bread and cheese. They ate their food slowly, sitting on the grass on the hillside and admiring their new chapel with its strong stone walls, its tall tower, and its magnificent bell. After they had eaten, they went back inside, opening those carved wooden doors to go into the gloriously painted sanctuary inside. "Oh, look, Father," Zora cried, running from picture to picture, with her footsteps echoing off the stone walls. "See how beautiful and grand it is." "Yes, it is," said her father, looking around and nodding with pride. "Yes, it is." "But Father," she said suddenly, "we have not finished." "What do you mean?" he said. "Well, there are tall iron lampstands all along the walls, but there are no lamps. The church will be dark when the people come back." "Ah, no, little one," said her father. "The light of the church comes from its people. You shall see." He rang the bell to call the people to worship, and then took his daughter by the hand and led her back outside. They waited on the grassy hillside next to their beautiful church of strong grey stone. The sun had set behind the mountains and night was coming soon. Yet in the growing darkness, tiny points of light came from many directions and moved steadily up the hill. Each family is entrusted with a lamp, little one, her father explained. Each family lights its own way here. Where is our family lamp? Your mother is carrying it. She will be here soon. The many lights moved closer together, gathering into one moving stream, all headed the same way, growing larger and brighter all the time. Zora's mother arrived, bearing a burning oil lamp in her hands, and the father lifted Zora so she could see and set their family's lamp high in its tall iron stand. All around the chapel, other families were doing the same, and soon the church was ablaze with light in every corner, for all the people of the village had gathered to pray and to sing. All through the worship service, Zora watched the lights flicker and glow. She watched her family's lamp most of all. And when the service was over, her father lifted her high up, and she looked at the shining bronze lamp from the lampstand. Its curved sides were warm and smooth in her hands. Her mother carried the lamp home with the flame lighting their way. The lamp flame lit their house when they returned home. Zora washed her face and got ready for bed by the light of the flame. Mother, Zora began as she climbed into bed and lay down. Yes, little one, her mother asked, tucking the red wool blanket around Zora's shoulders. Father said the light of the chapel comes from its people. Yes, but also the people take their light from the church. And over on the table, by the fireplace, the shiny bronze lamp was still burning. And we have that light every day. Yes, indeed, said her mother, and even when we are not in church, even when the lamp is not lit, we carry the light of truth in our minds and the flame of love in our hearts to show us the right way to be. That light, the light from truth and love, will never go out. Never? Asked Zora. Never, said her mother, and this bronze lamp will last for many, many years. When you are grown, we will give you the bronze lamp, and when your children are grown, you will give the lamp to them, and all of you will carry it back and forth to chapel every time. But there is only one lamp, Zora said. So make another and let the light grow, and someday tell your children to make more lamps too. And now, Zora, good night, her mother said, and kissed Zora once on this cheek, and once on that cheek, and once on the forehead. And Zora closed her eyes and drifted into dreams, while her mother looked down upon her sleeping child. The years passed, Zora grew, the bronze lamp came into her care, and she kept it, polished it, cleaned it, and when the bell rang out across the valley to call the people to worship, she carried the lamp back and forth to the church on the hillside, the flame always lighting her way. And when the time came, she made more lamps and gave them to her children, who made more lamps and gave it to their children. And so it went on through the years, even until today. And always the light of truth and the flame of love from that Unitarian chapel on the hillside continued to grow and show them and us the way. Super dingling. Lovely. Thank you so much for your help with the story. Thank you, Hannah, so much for ringing the bell so beautifully. So that was the story, but actually we're looking at poems today, and I've chosen... Oh, actually, yeah, no. Let me look at this, let me make sure. So, hang on a minute. So we now enter our time for our prayers of joys and concerns. And just like the little lamp lights that we gave out and the lights that we have here, if you are holding someone in your heart today, now is the time to say their name in the coming moments. Karina. For all those names, spoken and unspoken, may these prayers of peace ripple out from this place of worship to reach them. And I now invite you to come and light your own lantern-like lamp light, if you like, and light your own joy and concern. Thank you for the stillness and your sharing your joys and concerns. I've now chosen 4 poems for the all ages, and our activities after we've read them will be from the poems themselves, if that makes sense. So I've got some kind volunteers who've offered to look at different ideas to do with growth. And the first one is to do with growth by beginnings. Growth by just being, not trying to do, not trying to achieve, and giving ourselves time to gaze on life. So Tatiana has kindly offered to step up and read us a poem about that. Thank you.
Leisure by W.H. Davis. What is this life if, full of care, we have no time to stand and stare, no time to stand beneath the boughs and stare as long as sheep or cows, no time to see when woods we pass, where squirrels hide their nuts in grass, no time to see in broad daylight streams full of stars like skies at night. No time to turn at beauty's glance and watch her feet, how they can dance. No time to wait till her mouth can enrich that smile her eyes began. A poor life this, if full of care, we have no time to stand and stare.
Thank you so much, Tatiana. The second poem that we're going to hear is about growth by weathering storms. Storms come, we move through things. It's all about trying not to push different feelings or thoughts away, inviting them in, letting them in, because each one may help us in ways we cannot see at the time that we are suffering. Amira, would you like to come and read?
The Guest House by Rumi. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in.
Thank you so much, Amira. They are a bit of a whistle-stop tour through some very gentle, beautiful poems, but it will make sense when we do the activities. Thank you, Amira. The next poem is to do with growth, to enjoy the fruitfulness of life, to enjoy the miracles that are, that something so bitter that we go through might actually be the source of the sweetness we find. Tatiana, if you'd like to come and read again. I know.
Ode to the Lemon by Pablo Neruda. Out of lemon flowers loosed on the moonlight, love's lashed and insatiable essences, sodden with fragrance, the lemon tree's yellow emerges. The lemons move down from the tree's planetarium, delicate merchandise. The harbors are big with it, bazaars for the light and the barbarous gold. We open the halves of a miracle, and a clotting of acids brims into the starry divisions. Creation's original juices, irreducible, changeless, alive. So the freshness lives on in a lemon. In the sweet-smelling house of the rind, the proportions arcane and acerb. Cutting the lemon, the knife leaves a little cathedral, alcoves unguessed by the eye that open acidulous glass to the light, topazes riding the droplets, altars, aromatic facades. So while the hand holds the cut of the lemon, half a world on a trencher, the gold of the universe wells to your touch. A cup yellow with miracles, a breast and a nipple perfuming the earth, a flashing made fruitage, the diminutive fire of a planet.
Thank you so much. And now I'd like to invite Andrew and Sally to come and read The Owl and the Pussycat. And this is about the possibility of growth through creativity and humour.
The owl and the pussycat went to sea.
In a beautiful pea-green boat,
They took some honey and plenty of money.
wrapped up in a £5 note,
The owl looked up to the stars above.
and sang to a small guitar.
Oh, lovely pussy, oh, pussy, my love, what a beautiful pussy you are.
You are.
What a beautiful pussy you are.
Pussy said to the owl, "You elegant fowl.
How charmingly sweet you sing.
Oh, let us be married. Too long we have tarried."
But what shall we do for a ring?
They sailed away for a year and a day to the land where the bong tree grows.
And there in a wood, a piggy-wig stood, with a ring at the end of his nose.
His nose, with a ring at the end of his nose.
Dear pig, are you willing to sell for 1 shilling?
Your ring, said the piggy, "I will,"
So they took it away.
and were married next day by the turkey who lives on the hill,
They dined on mince and slices of quince,
which they ate with a runcible spoon.
and hand in hand on the edge of the sand,
They danced by the light of the moon.
by the light of the moon.
They danced
By the
by the
light
light
of the
of the moon.
Lovely. Firm favourite. Brilliantly done. Thank you so much. So now is our time to use those beautiful words that the readers have read to us, and we've got 4 tables for you to go and enjoy. Table 1 is about growth in being still, which is just over on this side, and Tatiana will be on that table. Table 2 is growth by weathering the storm, and Amira will be, if you want to wave, be at the table at the back. We've got growth by sweetness to bitterness, which is basically trying to make lemonade, which is with Ekin on the table over here. And then growth by playfulness and creativity, and Katia is in the middle table. And we've got about 10 or 15 minutes, so do go and enjoy it, and then we'll share the mic for reflections. Thank you. It's really hard to just bring the mic into the mix now because everyone's right in the middle of their activities. The story was a bit longer than usual this morning, so hopefully if you haven't finished your activity, there might be a few moments after the service to come back and to collect the things you need to finish or have some time there. But we've got a few minutes now just to take a short reflection from each table. So if you'd like to raise your hand, if anything came up for you about growth through the poems, or just anything that you'd like to share, now is your moment. Go on, you say.
No, but everyone's like, I've got an owl here now, so wait for me.
Well, maybe there's something in that. Katya's like, but hang on, I'm halfway through my owl. And maybe there's something in that. They are the kind of activities that you could do all afternoon, which is lovely.
Yeah, I loved it. It felt very cathartic, like my life storms are just coming out on this paper and just really bringing me into my senses. I absolutely loved it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hannah. Maybe just having some time in our busy lives to have just a moment to bring a brush of colour to some paper is something in our week.
So I have to see this one, just so, I don't know if I have to hold it up, no? Yeah. So basically, okay, so that basically just comes off the top of my head, from wherever you are in that black bit, which is depression, if you can find the way to the centre white bit, that's the way out. But you have to find your way. There's always a white bit that's there if you can find it. That's it.
What a beautiful reflection, full of hope, full of growth, and actually through the darkest times, if I understand correctly, you're saying that the light is always there and that things will change no matter how dark they might seem. That is so beautiful, Fraser. Thank you. We're taking time for reflection, George. We've got about 2 minutes if you want to share anything that came up for you during the activities. And if not, we shall go back to our seats and sing the final hymn.
It was really fun on this table that we were encouraged to work together. So with my drawing, like we had a picture going around of the owl and the pussycat, and I was like, I don't think I can draw that. So I drew the party afterwards of the owl and the pussycat, and there's the pig watching, and then the turkey who married them. I have no idea what quince looks like, but I took a crack at it. So yeah, but like I started doing it, and then Rose added all these lovely details, like what if she has a veil, or let's give her a headband or a necklace, or let's add some bits on the turkey. So that was really, and the feather like floating away. Like, it was really fun to see there were more details than I would have come up with on my own. And I think so often we do it in our little bubbles, but I really enjoyed that. Did you have anything you wanted to say? Okay.
That's fantastic. That's growth and creativity, and then creativity flowing and growing more. Thank you so much.
Okay, we're at the lemonade table, the lemonade stand. Feel free to join us if you get thirsty. And the wonderful balance of bitter and sweet, that we can always remember there is some gift, even in challenging scenarios. Just like medicine can be bitter and sometimes coated with a little sweetness, it can bring us great healing. It definitely brings our awareness. Sharp things like thunder or lightning or storms, they catch our attention. And we honor them because we know behind them is life. It's all a part of life. Didn't sign up expecting it all to be sweet and roses. So we accept all of it because it's all a gift. And on that note, this week is opening a very powerful ceremony in Glastonbury. Native American prayer, a unified prayer, one prayer, where people will be making offerings of fasting from food and water and praying together to honor all the gifts that we have, that we remember how beautiful and vital and important they are for us all.
I don't think I need to add to that, do I? But it will make me think differently when I look at a lemon, and thank you for putting into words the feelings that I have. Thank you. And if you'd like some lemonade, there will be. I now invite you, okay, we'll just very, very quickly, because John has to get to a fair at his school. Hold on.
I'll be quick, but we were looking at aspects of the chapel that we really appreciated, and we were highlighting aspects of the stained glass windows, the really vibrant blues, but also like the colours that come in through not only the stained glass windows, but the colours that come through in the sunlight, which is sort of really beautiful, and it's like a blessing on the chapel, and also the candle that's over there. So that, just very quickly.
That's gorgeous. Thank you, Angela. Yes, maybe after the service as well, just feel free to take a stone and gaze some more. Those blues are amazing. Yeah. Please do come back to your seats and we'll sing our final hymn. Thank you. So it's number 125 in your purple hymn books. John will play through the first verse and then rise as you are able. Thank you. May the growth that we felt during the service today be held in our hearts as we move through the week ahead. Amen. Please be seated. We will now take the collection. Thank you. Thank you so much, John, for the beautiful music this morning. Absolutely wonderful. And for holding on when you had to quickly get away and do some things to the organ too, as well. So thank you so much. Thank you all for your time, your talent, and your treasure. We've got the Community Lunch Club, which will start at 12:30. So we've got about 15 minutes for a cup of tea and to continue conversations or wrap up our activities that we started. And we haven't said the final word, so I hope you'll indulge me and say the communal blessing that we usually say from Bright Lights, which is at the bottom of your service sheet, just at the bottom. As we leave this friendly place, love give light to every face. May the lessons that we learn warm our hearts until we return. Thank you so much.